Ladies and gentlemen, history buffs and disco lovers, welcome to the Heretic History. Today, we're unraveling a tale where history and pop culture collide in the most electrifying way. A story about a Siberian mystic who manipulated Russian royalty and a Caribbean-German disco group that turned his legend into a global earworm. This is the saga of Rasputin, the man, the myth, and the Boney M anthem that made him immortal. Buckle up. It's time to dance through history. Picture this. 1978. Disco balls spin, bell-bottoms sway, and a funky bassline pulses through radios worldwide. Boney M's Rasputin dominates the charts with its infectious rhythm. But behind those catchy lyrics, Grigori Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen, lies a real, twisted story. Who was this Russia's greatest love machine? Was he a saint or a sinner? Let's rewind to 1869, to a frozen village in Siberia, where our enigmatic figure first drew breath. Grigori Yefimovich Rasputin was no aristocrat. Born to peasant farmers, he was a mystic, a self-proclaimed holy man with a reputation for healing. Legends say he survived a near drowning as a teen, emerging with divine powers. By his 30s, Rasputin's piercing gaze and uncanny ability to soothe pain drew him to Russia's elite, including a desperate empress. 1912. The Romanov court is in crisis. Tsar Nicholas's heir, Alexei, suffers from hemophilia, a death sentence in an era without modern medicine. Enter Rasputin. Through hypnosis, herbs, or sheer charisma, he stops Alexei's bleeding. Empress Alexandra becomes his devoted ally. But as Rasputin's influence grows, so do the rumors, orgies, drunkenness, whispers that he's controlling the throne. The aristocracy despises him, and soon they plot his end. December 1916. Prince Felix Yusupov invites Rasputin to a midnight feast. The menu: cyanide-laced cakes and Madeira wine. But when the poison fails, Yusupov panics, shooting Rasputin point blank. The mad monk collapses, only to revive moments later, chasing his attackers into the snow. They shoot him again, beat him, and dump his body into the Neva River. Autopsy reports later reveal he drowned. The man who cheated death finally met his icy fate. Fast forward 60 years. A disco quartet from West Germany, Boney M, stumbles upon Rasputin's story. Their producer, Frank Farian, crafts a genre-bending track, Balkan folk melodies, funk basslines, and lyrics that blend fact with wild fiction. They didn't even kill him right. Becomes a dance floor chant. But why did this historical villain become a disco icon? Let's break it down. Boney M's Rasputin wasn't just a song, it was a time capsule. The Cold War rage, Russia felt distant, mysterious. The band's Caribbean vocalist, Liz Mitchell, gave the track its fiery soul, while the Eastern European-inspired instrumentation tapped into 1970s Euro disco fever. But the lyrics, pure myth-making. Rasputin wasn't a love machine. He was a married father of 3. And Catherine the Great, she'd been dead a century when Rasputin was born. Yet the exaggeration worked. By painting Rasputin as a supernatural Casanova, Boney M turned history into campy escapism. Decades later, the song's legacy thrives. TikTokers groove to its beat. Historians cringe at its inaccuracies. But here's the twist. Boney M revived Rasputin's notoriety. Before 1978, he was a footnote. Now, he's a pop culture antihero. The song even faced bans in the USSR, where authorities called it ideological sabotage. Talk about irony. A disco track threatening a regime. Let's fact-check Boney M, shall we? 1. Russia's greatest love machine. No evidence, unless you count his marriage. 2. Lover of the Russian queen. Alexandra saw him as a holy guide, not a paramour. 3. Raise the dead. Pure folklore. But hey, Grigori Rasputin does rhyme with Russian queen. Does historical accuracy matter in pop music? Or does art redefine history? Boney M gave us a Rasputin for the ages, a symbol of rebellion, excess, and survival. And in doing so, they proved that even the darkest tales can make us dance. So, was Rasputin a villain, a saint, or just a disco icon? Hit the comments. I'd love to hear your take. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's quirkiest crossover, smash that like button, subscribe for more untold stories, and tap the bell so you never miss a beat. Until next time, keep questioning and keep dancing. Thanks for watching.